Techno update. Subscribe now.
Motorola Moto E5 and Moto E5 Plus hands-on, a successor to the Lenovo P2? What you need to know. Motorola's aim with the E5 is, of course, to do neither of these things, and instead to offer customers who might not have considered spending as much on a G6 Play or G6 a cheaper option. That's kind of what the Moto E5 and Moto E5 Plus end up doing in a roundabout way. The Moto E5 Plus, in particular, offers a tempting alternative, with a larger screen and a bigger battery for less. In fact, the Moto E5 Plus has a 6:18:9 720 by 1440 display, a 12-megapixel f/2 rear camera and a massive 5,000 mAh battery, while inside is a Snapdragon 425 processor running at 1.4 GHz with 2 GB or 3 GB of RAM and 16 or 32 GB of storage plus microSD expansion. The Moto E5 less interesting, but it is even cheaper. It has a 5.7 in 720 by 1440 display, a 13-megapixel f/2 rear camera and a 4,000 mAh battery. Inside, it runs the same core hardware as the Moto E5 Plus, and it comes with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage. There's a more detailed breakdown of the specifications of each phone, just below. Specifications, price and release date. Moto E5 Plus. CPU, 1.4 GHz octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 425, Adreno 308 graphics. RAM, 2 GB or 3 GB. Storage, 16 GB or 32 GB. Rear camera, 12MP, f/2, phase detect and laser autofocus, LED flash. Front camera, 5MP, front flash. Price, £149. Release date, TBC. Moto E5. CPU, 1.4 GHz octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 430, Adreno 505 graphics. RAM, 2 GB. Storage, 16 GB. Rear camera, 13MP, f/2, phase detect and laser autofocus, LED flash. Front camera, 5MP, front flash. Price, £119. Release date, TBC. Design, key features and first impressions. You might expect from the lower price the E5 phones to look and feel cheaper than their G6 counterparts, but that's not the case. Both feel solid in the hand, and the glossy Moto E5 Plus looks fabulous in either the grey or gold colors it's available in. The E5 is less interesting to look at but is still reasonably smart. I particularly like the rear-mounted fingerprint reader with the Motorola logo printed on it, which feature on both phones. It's in just the right position and falls under the tip of your index finger perfectly. The Moto E5 Plus looks almost as nice as the Moto G6. The 5,000 mAh battery in the Moto E5 Plus doesn't even add too much extra weight. The phone tips the scales at 197 grams, although it is quite chunky at 9.35 millimeters. The same goes for the overall performance of the phone. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with either phone at the event, but performance didn't feel distinctly different to the Moto G6. As for the screens, they're both 720 by 1440 in resolution, and both employ IPS panels that seem nice and bright and colorful. Neither is as sharp as the 1080 by 2160 screen on the Moto G6 and G6 Plus, but there didn't appear to be any major problems. Appears to perfectly fine. The Moto E5 is a touch less inspiring but feels well made. One major difference between the E5 phones and the G6 is that the two phones charge via micro USB instead of USB Type-C, which limits the speed at which the battery is replenished. Neither phone will charge as quickly as the Moto G6, G6 Plus or G6 Play, something that is likely to be exacerbated by the huge battery in the Moto E5 Plus. Another difference concerns the camera, which has none of the G6's clever landmark recognition or its depth editing skills. It's also worth pointing out that neither Moto E5 gets the P2i water repellent treatment, but they're so affordable that if you soak one and kill it, it won't be a complete disaster.